Hi, this round of video for ankle stretching and strengthening was brought about because my friend Lisa, who I've known for a really long time, texted me and asked me to address that because she's coming back from an ankle injury. And since I'm working back from my foot injury, I thought we could definitely do a section on ankles. It turned out to be really too long, and I tried to make it where only the pertinent parts are in there, so I apologize if it's a little bit chopped up. I tried to make it as quick as possible. There are 7 sections. I hope you enjoy it. So one of the things we're doing is we're going to stretch the gastroc and the soleus are your 2 big muscles down the back of your calf. They share the Achilles tendon, so it's really important to stretch that whole area. What I'm going to do is, if you can see, I'm keeping my back leg, the leg I'm stretching, straight, and I'm stretching forward into that. Some people lean forward, some people stay upright. What I'd say is just do it so that you can really feel the whole back of your leg, and you're just going to hang out there for maybe a minute or two and just really get that stretch. Lift in your core. Keep working on other parts of your tango technique while you're stretching, and you'll be double dipping for technique and ankle rehab or strengthening. Important things, don't arch your back. So it's not about arching your back. Keep your back nice and long, and you'll get a lot more stretch through the back. You want to face a wall, you can push up, you can hold on to something. And I have pretty stretchy calves, so you might not be able to stretch this far. Really keeping your heels flat on the ground. Keep your hips and your ribs knit together in the front so that you're not arching in your back. Keep that all connected in. So you have a nice long line through the whole body. The second stretch works on the soleus muscle, not the gastroc. So the gastroc goes across you have your knee connection and your ankle, but it goes up into your leg. So it's stretching across 2 joints. The soleus is just stretching across your ankle joint. So it's the same kind of position we just did, except you are going to bend your knee. You're going to feel this. For me, I feel the first stretch, the gastroc and soleus stretch, I really feel up in here because I've worked these muscles. When I bend my knee, I feel this a lot closer to my ankle. And as I said, you can hold the move for about 1.5 minutes to 2 till it starts relaxing. If that's too much for you, you can do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. You probably want to do at least 5 of these, 5 to 10, and really get a nice stretch in through there. In at least one of my other videos, I've shown you these great massage balls, which are golf ball shaped. Golf balls work just fine, anything about this size. So what you want to do with this is you're kind of warming up your plantar fascia, which is the layer that kind of holds together the bottom of your foot. For a lot of people, they suffer from this being tight. So just really making sure that you're working that through and warming it up, stretching it out. In my case, kind of getting the tight little bits out that I tend to have because I've had issues with plantar fasciitis on and off for 20 years. Just kind of rolling that around your foot, taking turns with them. After I've done a little bit of warming up and stretching my calves to get ready to work on my ankles, here's one of the things that I do to both stretch and then later on to strengthen the ankles. I love these stretchy bands. You can get them pretty much any physical therapy store or office. You can get them on Amazon. They're really helpful for doing exercises, especially if it's not easy for you to grab your foot, for example. So picking a good hold somewhere on this, you could hold your foot if you want or use a band. Notice that when I am pushing with my heel is actually coming off the floor. People who don't have quite as muscular calves will probably have their heel closer to the floor, but you want it almost like you're kicking with your heel. Your abs are lifted, you're sitting tall, and you're pushing with your heel. And again, this is something that you can either do in short spurts if you have a hard time maintaining it, or just maintain this until you start to feel a lot more stretch in the ankle and the bottom of your foot. So for me, I do 3 different versions of this that helps keep me from getting bored. So this is the first one, just right in front of my hip joint, straight leg, pushing with the heel. The other parts that I do with it are more a whole leg combination, not just for the ankle. So this is the first one. If you like, you can also roll through and come back up, either on the floor or off the floor. Notice that I'm not pushing with my toes. I am working through my ankle and coming back slowly. Going fast isn't going to get you the same level of control as if you do these slowly. It's really important to keep breathing. That's part of why I keep talking to you, so that I remember that to breathe. The other thing to be aware of is if you don't have equally strong sides of your foot, you may end up wobbling. So I'm going to show it to you this way. What you want to think about is working from your ankle. Your ankle is a hinge joint, right? So you want to really think about working it same amount both sides of the foot, rather than wobbling to one side or the other. So keep track of that while you're doing this exercise, and that will help you also gain a lot of control over how you're using your ankle when you move. So it's in and back really slowly. People ask me how many of these to do or how many exercises to do. I would say that when you're really starting to feel it in the front of your foot, take a break, do the other side, or maybe you're done with that for the day. As you get stronger, you'll be able to do it for longer. So here again, I'm stretching and I have my heel off the ground. I'm kicking with my heel as if I'm pushing with my heel rather than just pulling my foot up. And I'll usually again do this for either 2 or 3 30-second points of amounts of time, or I'll do it for an hour, a minute and a half, 2 hours, a minute and a half or so until I really feel the stretch before I start doing the pushes and pulls that I'm showing you. So I'll do that for a while, and then again slowly, I'm really trying to work the ankle and not push with the toes. So see, I should still be able to wiggle the toes. They're released through this whole exercise. Pushing, and again, slowly pulling. If you feel like you're not getting enough work, go closer to the foot, or you can get a heavier exercise band. If you are doing this as rehab from an ankle injury, take it easy on this stuff, okay? So it's one thing to strengthen so that you can wear high heels. It's another thing to come back from an injury and also strengthen enough to get back to your tango heels. So just take it easy. It's going to take a couple weeks minimum and probably a couple months to get back to where you were before you were injured. If it's just a question of getting enough strength, it may take a while too. Because remember, if you don't have enough strength in your ankles to easily wear high heels, it just means either, if you're like me, I have weak ankles and I've had to work hard to strengthen them, or you just haven't worn your heels very much and you need to get the foot strong enough and the ankle strong enough to maintain when you're in that position for high heels, which is harder to maintain than being barefoot. This next exercise I've had to do a lot in my life, as until I trained for tango, I didn't have very strong ankles. And I kept walking over the sides and getting injured as a kid and also in college and into grad school. So this is from about 3 different PTs who've given me this one to work on. Keeping your knee pretty stable so that you're not using it to do the work, you're going to squeeze a towel on the floor, lift it up, and can gradually squish it under your foot. When you run out of room, you're going to unsquish it and spread it back out on the floor as best you can. Now this is working the ankle and intrinsic foot muscles a lot. So I'm going to show this to you from the side. Again, if this is too easy, you can try this not on a hardwood floor, but I would say for the most part, if you have this on carpeting, the towel won't move enough. So I'm squishing it up, I'm lifting in my toes, trying to keep my heel on the floor, and squishing it, squishing it, squishing it, squishing it, gradually getting as much of the towel under my foot as I can. When it doesn't seem to be making any headway, then I'm going to do the opposite, reverse, and send it out. So if you do that, if you have one injured foot, obviously you'll be doing that a lot more than on the other, but I think it doesn't hurt to try it out on both feet. This is actually my injured foot that I'm coming back from rehab on, and as you can see, I have a lot less movement in the center of my foot. This is definitely a lot harder to do with this foot for me. A little bit uncomfortable. So I obviously need to do this one more than I have been doing it. Again, I always counsel that if you're doing an exercise and your foot or your ankle or your muscles start to feel really warm, that's good. When they start to tell you that you need a break, take a break. This is not about being macho, this is about getting stronger. So little by little, you should be able to do more and more reps of the move. Like right now, I can definitely feel it through here because this is where I've gotten very weak from wearing the immobilizer boot after breaking my toe. So for me, I can probably only do 2 or 3 of these before my body says, whoa, you need to just take a break, young lady. This next exercise sounds a little weird, but it can be a lot of fun. It can also prepare you for working on adornos as well as just strengthening your ankles. So what you're going to do is you're just going to hang out one foot free, draw the alphabet. You can try cursive, lowercase, or you can do one letter at a time. Pick a different alphabet, write that alphabet. What you're doing is you're just getting a little bit better communication between you and your foot and your ankle joint. So say we do A, B, C. So just start writing your alphabets. And that requires you to use a lot of muscles inside your foot. It requires you to use your ankle and to tune in to a little bit smaller motion, a little bit more complex motion than just the work we've been doing up till now about stretching and straightening in a hinge joint kind of motion for the foot or just picking up the towel. What you're going to do is stabilize your knee. I usually tie a stretchy band to the biggest piece of furniture I have so that it doesn't move. And what I'm doing is I'm twisting and working away from that point. So first I set myself up in a place that feels like there's a good amount of resistance from the furniture to me. And then trying to keep my foot along the floor, I'm twisting using as much as possible my foot and my ankle and not my knee to twist away from that and come back. Twist away from it and come back. Twist away from it and come back. Maybe 5 to 10 times, nice and slowly. If you find that you're peeling your toes up or rolling your foot out, you may just have too much stretch here. You might want to make it a little bit easier for yourself and work that. After you've done those, what I usually do is, since you have to work the other side as well, I work one way on this foot, one way on this foot, and then I switch to the other side. That way I don't have to do very much adjusting. So then replace foot, you have to move in a little bit. Sorry about the noise. So again, I'm going to stabilize my foot and my knee, keep my knee in place, and then work my foot. And turn away and come in. For me, this one's a lot easier. This is my stronger foot, and this is my stronger direction. So I can turn a lot further. See if you can do it slow-mo though. You don't want to go push, fall back, push, fall back. Slow-mo through the whole thing will help you have a lot better control over the muscles. And in tango heels, you need to have really good control to move your feet nicely. So you do that, and then I would flip around to the other side and do both of these facing the other direction.